Live, live, live. Liveness, liveness. I got BK1 on speakerphone to make sure that I'm being heard. 1 2 1 2.
For me, it still shows as waiting for Brother Hadi.
Okay. A lot of times there's a lag. The event is calling now anyway, so. Peace, everybody. Let me know if you can hear me.
Okay, I see that.
Yo. So it looks like when I'm talking, it's showing up on the meter. So I'm assuming that. But are you able to hear me talk? Oh, I lost him.
Yeah, you're live, man.
But are you hearing me? I know I'm live. Can you hear me on, like, are you, huh?
You are heard.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure. All right, peace. All right, sorry about that, everybody. So the first time that I did this, the first time that I went live, Brendan BK1 set up the link and like we were good to go. And so I got in. It was like my first time doing it. And so I got inside and I was trying to use my podcast mic. And I was also trying to use my podcast camera, but I forgot to charge my battery. So I'm just using the one on a laptop. But so I got in here and for whatever reason, it was like the outputs that I chose or selected weren't happening. So I tried to go out of the live stream, but as soon as I left the live stream, it ended it. And so anyway, it just caused this whole snafu. Peace and love, everybody. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Thank you for being here. Today is a big day and this week is a big week. Today is a big day because we are dropping right now and doing this live preview for the video for the song called Gauntlet with Roc Marciano. The song has already been streaming since midnight, so some of you, a bunch of you guys have already heard it. Like the numbers are already every time. So with Spotify, they have an artist app, so they can show you how many people are listening to your music. So you know, like, so you can count your fractions of a penny. Like they pay us almost nothing. But it does feel good to be like, man, at least this music is actually reaching people. People are listening to it. It's just another one of those things that you watch those numbers go up and you're like, man, okay, so I guess I made 40 cents today. But it's a beautiful thing to see that happening. So, and those numbers have been going. So that's dope. And then also on Friday, the full album starts streaming. And for those who have already pre-ordered cassettes and CDs, those are being shipped right now. I posted a video of BK1 talking about just the beauty of the fact that we've been doing this together for a long time. He's the one that introduced me to Rhymesayers. He's the first person to ever record me. He's the first person to DJ for me in a real way. I had a couple of DJs that I worked with that were really talented people, but BK was the one who, from the very beginning, he's memorized more of my lyrics than anybody else. From even like he knows songs. There's songs that live in his mind, rent free, as they say, that never got released. Like he knows songs from 1998, 1999. And a lot of things he heard them before they were actually songs, all the way up until now. So we went on the road together and figured all that out. Like how do we show people the music that we have when we didn't even have music out? We toured for a full year before Shadows in the Sun came out. So it was done, but it wasn't out. And so we were just out there like, yo, trust us, we're dope. You know what I mean? And so Brendan BK is the guy that helped me figure out how to do it. And I still use that same approach. Like what we developed together is still the way I structure my set. It's still the approach that I take. And so I put out a clip where BK was talking about the fact that we started, and he, helped me get my start, and we toured together for 10 years. And then he left from the road to go start a radio station. And, and I toured for another 10 years. And then when I made the decision to come to Istanbul to launch my own platform, to launch a podcast, to basically, start conducting my own business with my own vision, which is a scary thing to do because, the label that I was on is a well-known, established label. And, you know, it's a safety net, and it's a cocoon, and it's something that a lot of people want to be part of. A lot of people in my position are like, man, I wish I could be on a label. I wish I could have that type of team. And there's a lot of beautiful things about it. And I wouldn't at all change the fact or deny the fact that that's how I got my start, and that's the foundation. That's where we built the foundation. But at a certain point, you start realizing, like, okay, there are some things that are specific to me that I want to do. And so I spent a few years at the label trying to figure out, can we reshape this thing, my operation, to be what I want? And I just realized, like, no, you can't. And so it became clear to me, like, oh, that's because I'm supposed to do it myself. And so a couple years ago, me and BK started doing Travelers Media, and we started with the podcast. Like, he's so dope in radio and editing and everything that I was like, man, would you produce this podcast? And the more we talked about what it meant to me and what it meant to him, we realized, like, man, we're honestly just picking up this whole work together again. And so there's a clip, if you look on the social media sites, of BK basically saying that when somebody orders something, when you guys order something on brotherali.com or brotheralistore.com, that he's the one fulfilling that order. He's like, all that stuff is, in his place. He's the one packing it up. He's the one taking it to the post office. And so it's part of his daily routine to just go to the post office and ship out whatever's there. And he's like, he's saying that he usually thinks about what this felt like very early on, feeling like, man, we got something to say. We have something to offer, and we believe in what we're doing, and we just have to find the other people that believe in it. And so in a lot of ways, we're starting over, and it's not easy to do. And especially in this particular time where, I'm so outspoken about Palestine, it only takes a little bit. And I've experienced that over and over in my career, where when the people in the music industry realize, like, this person is going to insist on speaking about certain topics that they just don't want to talk about for whatever reason. It might not even be that they disagree with you. It might just be that, well, when I was talking about the war, Uncle Sam Goddamn came out at a very, like, time when the wars were going on in Iraq and Afghanistan. And so that was a very, like, anti-war type of song. And so, it's not that the people at the late night TV shows that I was being invited to, or the festivals, it's not that they were anti-war or that they were, like, pro-war, but maybe they were just feeling like, man, that's not why people tune into Conan O'Brien. Like, people are watching Conan O'Brien because they want to get a little chuckle before they go to bed, maybe see some cool music, some jokes. The talking dog, that's a very nice so and so for me to poop on. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just wanted to see Conan O'Brien be funny. And then, like, suddenly there's this, like, bald Muslim albino guy talking about Uncle Sam Goddamn. And, like, that's not why we're here. You know what I mean? So those people have to make decisions like that. You never know when a person is going to insist on saying that stuff. And it's one thing if you're Rihanna or Taylor Swift or Kanye West or someone like that. Um, Kanye West could say George Bush doesn't care about black people, and Mike Myers can make whatever face he wants. He's already Kanye West. And, J. Cole went on David Letterman and did something about Black Lives Matter. And, you can do that if you're J. Cole or if you're in that position already. But when you're not in that position and people are kind of doing you a favor and giving you a shot, it's like, yeah, kid, let's see what you got, you know, and then you use that opportunity to say something that's not part of the agreement. Like, there's certain social and entertainment agreements that we're making, that we're here to escape. We're here to laugh. We're here to have a chuckle. We're not here for this. It's like, okay, well, this isn't the time or place for that. All right, then what is the time and place? Where are the places where people talk about what's really going on in the world? Where are the times when, the music of oppressed and marginalized people can actually carry the message that matters in the lives and communities that create the music. Like, where is that time and place? Because it seems like it's nowhere, you know. And the music that's very specifically and explicitly about what's going on in the world. Like, man, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was saying that, you know, I'm a little older than him, but or maybe I'm not. But he was saying that in the political music that moved him was Rage Against the Machine. And he was like, man, Rage Against the Machine was mainstream music. And I was talking about, you know, earlier, for me, it was Public Enemy and it was hip hop music. And there was an entire subgenre of hip hop music that was about those issues. And even the stuff that wasn't, you would hear pro black political messages in gangster rap all the time. Even if it was something that was subtle as, like, you know, well, yeah, these police are corrupt because they don't care because I'm black and nobody has to care. And the rest is about selling drugs and whatever. But there will at least be something in there. And now it's just like, man, they have literally dwindled this stuff down to where there's no place for people talking about what's going on in the world. So we went from Marvin Gaye and, you know, the biggest artists in the world talking about this stuff to really nobody. And it's just a trip. It's a trip to go through that. So in this time where, like, me and BK1 are starting a whole new label and a new project, and, you know, the music that we're doing doesn't sound like our old music. This is like a different sound. It doesn't sound like the music that I made with Ant. It's not, you know, like crisp, snappy snares and you know, EQ'd hi-hats and all that stuff. Like, we made something that sounds very homemade and very like analog, and it sounds like that on purpose. And then just, you know, the producer did all these joints, did all of these videos for every song. It's going to have its own video. A lot of them are done and we're rolling them out slowly, but eventually it'll be the entire album. And so one of the things that we're really considering, and let me know, like, I'm gonna start looking at these comments, but one of the things we're really strongly considering is maybe doing a short run of screenings of the film, where I'll come to America and we'll get in like some cool little movie theater type of situation, and me and Unjust will come and talk. We'll screen the film, do question and answer stuff, and maybe perform some of the music and things like that. So if we did a run of shows like that, would you all come to that? Like, if, you know, that would probably, the ticket would probably be $25, you know, to watch the film, hang out, and it wouldn't be a concert, but we would do some sort of performance piece. This song in particular is huge. Like, this, like, you know, this is Gauntlet, which features Roc Marciano. Roc Marciano is the biggest, most significant, most influential thing in independent hip hop music. You know, you can look at Griselda and you can look at like a number of other, you know, movements and artists that are really doing major things. But I don't think anybody would deny that Roc Marciano is the inspiration for what Alchemist is doing musically. You know, and not entirely. It's not that everybody's just doing his thing. But he says in this song, he says, y'all are building whole careers off my ideas, you know. And Rock Marcy really had an idea at the beginning that, like, you know, to strip so much of the greatness of hip hop music is when things are stripped down to their raw essence. So you think about the fact that, like, Rick Rubin actually went to hip hop performances in downtown. Like, I don't know if he went uptown, but he went downtown, where they were using like a big, like, boom box, or like a big the beatbox, like the drum machines, 808 drum machines and stuff, and watching rappers rap and DJs scratch over the top of the drum machine. And he was like, this is amazing. But then when you listen to the hip hop music that was being created in studios, it was like, yeah, they're rapping over like a band trying to replay a breakbeat, and it sounds like a disco record. He's like, this doesn't sound like what rap sounds like to me. So Rick Rubin's idea was like, let's try to make records that sound like what we hear when we go hear this in the club. So he's like, let's get that drum machine. Let's have, you know, the DJ just scratch sounds over the top of it, and let's have rappers rap like they do in the club. And so that's how LL Cool J and Tila Rock and Run DMC and the Beastie Boys, and that's how all that stuff was born, that Rick Rubin was a part of. So that idea has happened over and over again, where then you had all these different movements of Dilla doing the things he was doing, the Roots doing the things they were doing. And what Rock Marcy really ushered in is the idea of we're rhyming to the record that we're sampling is already a complete record, and you don't need to chop it and put a bunch of drums on it and, shakers and hi-hats and all this stuff. Rap to the record, like, this is rap music is soul music, and it started from people rhyming over records. So let's loop the record and rhyme over it. And he was panned for that when he first did it, but he stuck to his guns, and now that's a huge part of what underground independent hip hop music has become. So the fact that he's on this and he's doing his thing. I mean, like, he sent in a full Rock Marcy song. Also, his songs are very short. The kind of the advent of the, like, really short song where it's a crazy loop or like a very, not overproduced beat, and then somebody's words and the way that they're, this very moody kind of wordplay. Um, you get in, you catch a vibe, you say some things, you say some clever stuff, and then you're done. It might not even have a hook. Rock Marcy is also the one that ushered that stuff in. And so he gave us what for him would be a full Rock Marcy song. I hadn't rapped on it yet. And so he gave us a full joint with a chorus and everything. And so then I jumped in on it and did my thing. And I feel good about the way it came out. I've rapped with a lot of legends. I rapped alongside um, Pharoah Monch. I rapped alongside Scarface, Wale, Freeway, Talib Kweli, um, Chuck D. I rapped alongside Killer Mike, Immortal Technique, Slug. I'm just thinking about on records. Like on stage, I've done with all of them. You know what I mean? But uh, and I feel like I've either won or like really, really held my own on all of them, except for the Pharoah Monch one. I'm like, man, Pharoah beat me, and I think Casual beat me on the song that he's on the album. So when the album comes out on Friday, you'll be able to hear it, and you let me know like what you think. But I think Casual's verse is just too great. But this one with Rock Marcy, I'm like, man, eh, rhyming with him, like being on a song with him, gave me what I needed to explore a new kind of pocket and a new flow and a new approach, which is a similar thing that happened with Freeway. Like when I'm on that song with Freeway and he like set the tone and like what the flow would be. And then I came in and was able to do my thing. So I feel good about that one. Word. Dangerous Master Ace and RA. Yep. That was another one. I feel good about that one. Western Mass is waiting. Uh, it's not captured. It was a DoD project from the start. We're just looking through all of the okay. Yeah, man. I mean, this project is really important. The thing that we really wanted and the thing that I was seeking when we decided to launch our own platform is like I could always make the music that I wanted to make, but I did feel a sense of, I made an album with Evidence called Secrets and Escapes. And the way that we did it is like similar to that kind of like, I don't think lo-fi is the good word, but like not like underproduced or not overproduced. You know what I mean? It's like you're not going for a sound where like the snares are big, like cracking, snappy sounding, like you blink your eyes when the snare hits. You know what I mean? You're not looking to like rattle the trunk. You're looking to, like I said, catch a vibe and there's like a very like 2-track kind of aesthetic to the whole thing. And when I was at Rhyme Series, I could always make the music that I wanted to make, but I did feel a sense of like, man, there's this whole label and there's all these people and the splits, like, as an artist, you just get a small, like a fraction of the money, whether or not that fraction is big or small, I guess depends on who you're asking. But you get a certain percentage, and there's all these people all these, there's a lot of people to pay, and there's a lot of expectations. There's a lot of people putting their time and energy into it. And we put out the Secrets and Escapes album, and our intention was to tour it and to make videos and things. And then the pandemic hit. So me and Evidence went on tour, but that's an album that I loved. I loved making that album. I felt so liberated by that album, and it didn't sell very well by Rhymesayers standards, but, and I remember thinking like, "Man, if I would have put this record out myself and we sold these numbers, me and Evidence could have would have both made money. It would have just fed the people who were here at the moment, not people that are connected to an entire legacy of what all these other artists are doing, but just here to hear what beats are coming out of Evidence's MPC. What rhymes are coming out of Brother Ali right now in this moment? What are they doing? What are they doing in Evidence's garage right now? To be able to make that and then just drop it, which is what we did. There was something about that that was so satisfying, but it felt like a failure. And I'm like, man, I don't want, I want to do the things that I want to do. And I want it to feel good. I want it to feel like every part of this and everyone involved, like I want it to feel, I know enough about myself to know that if I'm working on something that matters to me and it feels healthy and good, it feels fair, it feels right, it feels like we're creating music that feels like what we want the world to feel like. And our work environment feels like how we want people to be able to work together and be together. That's enough for me. I don't care how well it's going. I really don't. I want to do well because honestly, like Unjust and BK they also put their life into this project. So I'm like, man, I want this to do well so that everybody can keep living off this music, and that's not guaranteed, especially when social media is blocking us, especially when, um, that we were supposed to get distribution. There was supposed to be a digital distributor for this project that would make sure that everybody knew it was coming out. And they were very happy to put it out and be part of it. And then October 7th happened. Th- All the executives at that company were making very pro-Israeli posts, uh, you know, and I've always, and what's deep is that Unjust is a Jewish brother. Like the partner on this is an anti-Zionist Jewish American man who married a Jewish woman and went on Birthright, and he's Jewish. This is like a partnership between a Muslim American and a Jewish artist, two artists, like doing the entire project together. And so I think that's dope. And he's actually worked with the company that was supposed to release this music, and they just slowly backed out. They never told us why, and they don't tell you like we're backing out because we don't want to be part of your message, but that's what they do it. And so there's all these things that are causing it to not even, at the big challenge for artists is like, I just want the people who want this music to know it exists. And then if they want to support, then let them do whatever they like with it. If they want to stream it and not buy it, that's their decision. If they want to buy it and they want to come to the show and they want to join the caravan, which is our version of like our Patreon, if you go to brotherali.com, if they want to, buy the merch, if they want to, whatever, if they want to share it with people, or if they don't, if they're just like, yeah, this one isn't for me, I'll catch you on the next one. That's fine too. But like the big challenge is just, there are people who would enjoy this, and how do I even let them know that it's happening? You saw, a lot of you guys probably saw the post that I made the other day where I made a video of me talking about the challenges in the music industry. And in order for my followers to see it, you got to pay to boost the post. So I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. I'll put $50 on it and boost it just so my followers know this is happening. And they wouldn't even approve for me to boost the post. Like I couldn't even pay them to show it to the people who are there saying that they want to. Yeah. Anyway, I could go on and on about this, but um, at the end of the day, and this is always the case, if you're on stage and you're like, man, thousands of people listen to me in this city. How come there's only 300 people here? Well, first of all, we're grateful for 300 people, but also the only people you can complain to are the people that did show up for you. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'm sharing this with you not to complain, but just to make you aware of how important it is that you're a part of this. Like literally, this is just happening between the three of us, our little team. It's me, Unjust, who did all the music and the visuals, and we made the album together, and BK1. It's literally the three of us and y'all. Nobody else is part of this. Amy Goodman played it on Democracy Now. That's so dope. But that's the only platform to play it. Nobody's interviewed me. Um, it just is what it is. None of the festivals think that I would be that that I'd be good to be on stage. And it's like I said, it's just because this guy is probably going to say free Palestine. And even if they don't disagree with that, it's just too much trouble. It's too much potential problems. It's like no one else is going to say that. So just don't book Brother Ali. Don't book Immortal Technique. Don't book Dead Prez. Don't book Sage Francis. Don't book Saul Williams. And you're in the clear. Nobody else is going to say it. You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to do. Just you avoid like five artists. Nobody else that you book will probably say that. So tis what it is. The video premieres in 3 minutes. So I'm just going to take a quick look at these. Someone said, man, this hurts to hear. Yeah, it's been like that forever. Bars and beats should be in harmony, complementing each other. I feel you. All the Beauty in This Whole Life is an all-time great song. Thank you very much. I started my day with this track. So good. Dope. Thank you. The flow on the Marxy joint worked really well. John, thank you. I appreciate that. Need Me and Planet Asia. Mike B said Me and Planet Asia. That would be really dope. Planet Asia is, man, that guy is not a joke. That guy is not a game. But yeah, it's a dope. He's incredible. You should link up with a kora player for a song. Yeah, I mean, those ideas, those are things that sound great. And that's why real music producers are so incredible. Because it's one thing to think that an idea is cool. It's another thing to actually make it work. You know what I mean? That's what's up. Oh, man. Even organizations that I work with, I try booking yourself and others. So they're terrified of politics. They just say no. Yes, Sheikh Ahmed is here. Subhanallah. Sheikh Ahmed, I'm just gonna tell you, Roc Marcy curses on this song, man. But he did say he respected Islam on the song. He said, I just wanted nourishment, sustenance, ended up with abundance, because that's what Allah wanted for beloved. I'm a husband. So he honored Islam. He cursed on the record. I didn't edit it. I chose not to edit it. But I'm just going to let you know that. I have to sign off now, y'all, and it'll automatically take us over to the video. I'll be in the comment section. I love you. Thank you so much for the support. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.